Okay, you should be in your homework notebook. Please label your page with the date and Hands-on Equations HOEQ Lesson 5. We're going to be working with a new strategy today, and we're going to do two problems. And this strategy starts to involve some subtraction. So let's take a look at example A. Okay, take a moment to copy letter A. And we're going to build our scale using the equal sign as our middle, right? And now we're going to go item by item and start our translation. So we're going to start with this term. This says 2x. So using that, like we always have, I'm going to build two shaded triangles. We don't put any plus signs. Our next term tells us to make a single x, a solo x. But then as I go to the next term, it's actually telling me now, take away an x. So as part of the setup, you have some choices here. We have enough x's that we can just follow orders, do exactly what the problem is telling us, and take one away. So if you'd like to take your eraser and do that, you can. Or you can take your different color and you can just remove one right away. So if we take a look one more time at what we've done, we started with two x's, we added a single x, and then we were instructed to take away an x. So using my blue pen, I took away an x. And now I've got to record this +1. On the other side, we've just got a single x and a 9. So I'm going to show that. And now I can start my solving process like I always do. I am going to start crossing things off. I am going to take away a triangle from each side, because I've got one on each side. And then I'm also going to take away a +1 from each side. Over here I've got 1, and over here I've got 9. So I'm going to take 1 away from the left side, and I'm also going to take 1 away from the right side, but I'm going to have 8 left, and so I'm going to record that right away before I forget. If I take 1 away from 9, I'm left with 8. So now, as I look at this problem, I've actually almost arrived at an answer. On the right-hand side, the only thing I've got left over is a triangle. And on the right side, I've got a +8. So that means in this case, in this problem, my triangle equals 8. I'm going to go back and do my check. And so I'm going to replace each triangle with an 8 because I believe triangles are 8. I'm going to start over here and say, whoops, not a 2. I'm going to say that I believe 8 plus 8 plus 1, which is, let's see, 8 plus 8 is 16 plus 1 is 17, is the same as my other side, which is triangle plus 9. That was my original setup. So I'm going to do 8 plus 9, which is also 17. So my check is that my left side weighs 17 and my right side weighs 17. You'll notice that I did not replace this triangle with an 8, because what happened when we originally set up our problem, we put a triangle there, but then we took it away right away. So I didn't want to add 8 and then subtract 8, which is what we would really have to do. I just decided instead of adding it in and taking it away, I wouldn't replace it with an 8 at all to do my check. Go ahead and take a moment to copy letter B, our second example. And we are going to start translating this one. So I'm going to go item by item. I don't have a note card on my program here, but I'm going to take each item, like 4 here, and I know it's a positive 4, and it's all by itself. It's not attached to an X, so I'm going to put it in a square. Then I'm going to add 3 X's, or 3 triangles. And next, what I'm asked to do is to look at my triangles and actually take away 2 of them. So I am going to take away 2 of the triangles that I've already drawn. I'm just kind of following instructions, going left to right, doing what they told me to do. So there go 2 of my triangles. Now I'm going to add 1 more X. So if you've got enough triangles to take away, you just go ahead and take them away like they said. If I wanted to rewrite and organize, what I've really got on the left is 4 and 2 triangles. Sometimes it helps just to reorganize like that. And then on the right, I've got a single X and a 5. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that down here. I didn't have any sort of subtraction work to do on this level like I did over here. So I'm going to take my X, my solo X, and record it down here next to my cleaner version of the left side. And I'm going to record my 5 down here as well. So I have X and a positive 5. So what I will probably end up doing when I do my check and I actually replace with the value that I think the triangle is, I will probably do my check on this level right here, because this is sort of like my original problem, the neater version. I'm going to go ahead and take away a triangle from each side, which is legal move number 1. And then I'm going to take a look and realize that I can take 4 off each side. I've got 4 on the left, and I've got enough on the right to also take away 4. So I'm going to cross off 4 on the left, cross off 5 on the right. But if I take 4 away from 5, I still have 1 left over. Another rewrite will show that on the left side, I've got 1 triangle, or X, and on the right, I've got 1. So in this problem, I do believe my triangle is equal to 1. If I go back and I do my check, remember, again, I'm going to go back to this level, right here where I marked it, because I don't want to get confused by these triangles that I had to take away just as part of my original problem. I don't want to add those in and then have to subtract them back out. So I'm going to go up to my second level that I marked with a check mark, my neater version of my original, and I am going to replace, let's see, I'm going to put a 4 here, and I'm going to replace each of my triangles with a 1. So I've got 4 plus 1 plus 1 on the left would be 6. The left side weighs 6. And on the right, I'm going to replace triangle with 1, and then I had a 5 was my original, and 1 plus 5 is also 6. So I checked my answer, and 6 does equal 6. Go ahead and make a line underneath letter B and start your lesson 5 assignment for today.